Hi, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Wendy Ologe, the intentional parent. Welcome back here. Put down and subscribe to our channel, and also do not forget to turn on notification, and also don't forget to follow us on all our social media handle, Wendy the intentional parent. You're welcome back here. Today we're going to be looking at why generational differences. Many times I've seen that parents do not even understand the people they are raising. It's interesting. In fact, I was talking about cultural intelligence, and I was putting it in the concept of parenting. The culture in parenting, is changing because of the people we're raising by the day. Who are these people that we are raising? Today I'm going to share different perspectives, their names, the range, the dates, and the births of the people that we are raising. All right. So we're going to start from 1945 and before. They were called the traditionalists, or the silent generation. 1945 and before. So anybody who was born before 1945 are referred to as the silent generation or the traditionalists. Number two, we now have the people, the ones who were born between 1946 to 1964. They were referred to as the baby boomers. The baby boomers were born between 1946 to 1964. Now we have the Generation X. A lot of parents who are raising children also belong to this Generation X, who are raising children today. Both Generation X and the Generation Y. The Generation X are parents, people who were born between 1965 to 1976. 1965 to 1976. So if you were born between that time, you are the Generation X. Now we have the fourth category, the millennials, or what we call the Generation Y, which just truly I fall into. 1977 to 1995. So if you were born between 1977, if you're born in the 80s like us, then you fall into these millennials. So, because I have heard parents say that millennials are this new generation. No, we are actually, most people who are parenting now are actually, they're millennials. They are the Generation Ys. Then we have the Generation Z. The Generation Z are the people that are now, they are mostly 23 years, and they were born between 1994 to 2010. They are the ones referred to as the Generation Z. Now we have the Generation Alpha. The Generation Alpha are the ones who are the ones that are below 10. So the people who were born from 2010 till now are referred to as Generation Alpha. Which group of these people are you parenting? Do you know who they are? Do you know how they react? I would like us to take a look at the Gen Zs, because the Gen Zs, they are the people that we are actually dealing with right now, the Gen Zs. Okay, so this basically is for us to understand what and how they are different. It's important for us to know the difference between these two, all these people, and then we can get it from there. So let's begin with the GI generation. That's the youngest of the generation that were born in the 90s, and of course. So let's take a look at some of the characteristics of these generations that we spoke about. So now, we talked about the Generation X, the baby boomers, and now we're looking at the Gen Zs. We're looking at the Gen Zs, which actually make up a lot of the children that we are parenting right now. The oldest of them is 23, the youngest of them is 10. So of course we're looking at the Gen Zs, of course, which between age 10 and 23, and the generation and post-millennial generation, they will take lead, of course, in the next decades. They are also labeled centennials, because they were born in the world at the turn of the century. So where the oldest was born in 1995 and the youngest born in 2010. I have Gen Zs. That's why I took interest in this generation. They arrived with the tablet and the smartphones under their arm. I like that part. You know, many times what parents do is that they fight this, you know, smartphone thing with their children and have a lot of, the truth is the smartphone and the technology that we're using is native to the Gen Zs. So the Gen Zs were born into it. Haven't you seen children, the way they know what to do, they know what to click when they see the phone and how to open, unlock and all that? That's who the Gen Zs are. All right, their mastery of technology, you know, may actually make them neglect their interpersonal relationship to a greater extent. So, but they are the ones who give more of voice to social causes on the internet. That's who they are. They like to get everything they want immediately. So instant gratification in this generation is actually very low. So a fast, you know, fostered by digital world in which they are immersed with. So their lifestyle is also influenced by what they see on YouTube. So what the YouTubers are saying is one of the things that is going to influence their lifestyle. You see this generation, they are the ones on YouTube. They are the ones consuming content on YouTube. So their mastery of technology may actually make them, you know, have a lot of neglect, social skills, interpersonal skills, and all that. They multitask. That's another thing about this generation. But their attention span is very limited. They are independent and they are demanding consumers. They will have jobs that do not exist in the world today. So you need to also put that in your note. This generation, these Gen Zs that we are raising will have jobs that are not seen. So while you are hounding your child to do the traditional thing, remember that the Gen Zs will have jobs that we haven't seen today. So you need to allow them to also be able to explore their world. So despite all the diversity, the social diversity that Generation Y and Z, you know, predominate, according to the study on the new kids on the block, it was said that there are 2 million millennials and 2.4 billion Gen Zs, representing 27 and 32% of the world population respectively. So the millennials are there, of course, but the Gen Zs are more. So at the current generation, those born after 2010, they are the ones that are now called the Generation Alpha. So if you have less than 10-year-olds, you're raising a Generation Alpha. What will their behavior be like? In a couple of years, we will see if we notice a generational gap, because this generational gap is usually what it is that is being looked at. There have been lots of speculations about the Generation Alpha Child. Lots and lots of speculations, all right? And, you know, a generational researcher in Australia actually said that a lot of them will not be able to, they need to start getting what is meaningful really for them. There have been lots and lots of speculations. I wouldn't want us to get into speculations yet. Let's stick to the ones that have been proven, so that we're not going through speculation and saying, oh yes, there's a speculation that this will happen to the Generation Alpha and all that. All right, so the people are saying that they will care more about all issues, you know, but they won't care about a lot of things. Let me tell you the interesting thing about the Generation Z is also they are interested in access more than they're interested in keeping possessions. It's been proven that Gen Zs are not interested in having plenty of cars, having plenty of houses. They like to make money, yes, but they prefer access. That's why you have things like Uber. They prefer things like Uber where they can have access to. They prefer that they travel abroad and they have access, you know, where you have them Airbnb, where it's easy for them. They can, you know, make their money, live in an Airbnb house as long as they want. So the way this generation things differ. So it is one of the things that we must put in play in our mind as we're raising these children. Are you raising a Gen Z or are you raising a Generation Alpha? Or you've already raised the millennial? Because if you raise the millennial, then of course you've raised the parents of today. Which one of those generations are you raising? Will you want to know more about the Gen Zs and Generation Alpha? Stay tuned, because we will bring you more on this conversation. Thank you, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel, and do not forget to follow us on all our social media handles. My name is Wendy Ologe. I am the Intentional Parent. Also, do not forget, if you're on Facebook, to join our amazing group. That group has almost 28,000 people in it. Parents, awesome conversations go there. So you might want to join us. Thank you for coming here again today, and see you again in our next video. Thank you. And